So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to see what kind of strong decks we've got. Now, I realize that you don't have the same cards necessarily that I do. You might identify a different kind of card. We're going to build 2-color decks every session, and eventually I hope you'll come around to whatever color pair makes sense for you. Maybe you'll get some pointers out of building these decks to kind of go ahead and go after your own strongest deck. I mean, very, very possibly at this point, depending upon how many packs you've earned. Your strongest deck may still be one of these, and you may just be adding some additional, add additional white cards. If you got a really good white card and you put it in the white deck right now, that's a pretty good deck. Or a good red card, it makes it a pretty good deck. But we're going to start looking at some of the thought processes you go through to make decks of more than one color. So let's go check out our collection. We're going to go through decks to get to collection. And let's filter down a little bit here. We've got a lot of new cards. Look at all these new cards we got today. This is fantastic. So let's see if we've got a nice strong card to play with here. So we want to make a standard deck, which we've only been buying Zendikar, so I think that's all we've got. But we'll go ahead and check those. So we're only pulling from the standard decks, or from the sets that make up standard. And let's go look at our rares and mythic rares and see if we have a really strong card to use. And this is not them because, well, that's a mythic. Wow, we've got a whole page full already of rares and mythic rares. Pretty good. Pretty good, actually. Alright, let's take a look here, see if anything... Well, one jumps out at me right away. We have a Planeswalker. So we haven't really talked about how Planeswalkers work, so let's build a deck around this guy. He'll be one of our first ones. So that's a red-white deck. And then we can learn Planeswalkers. This guy was pretty good looking for a red-blue deck, and this guy looks good. What are you doing?
I was sitting. I just walked in, started hiding. I was checking out some new cards. That's what.
You want to look at some of the cards?
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched you play this game.
There you go.
Oh. Is this all the cards you have?
No, it's not all I've got. These are just the ones that I'm looking at right now. Okay. We can look at them more tomorrow if you want. You should be asleep by now. It is past 12.
I know.
Why aren't you asleep? You need to go to bed.
Look at this thing.
That's a big giant.
Oh my god.
It's called Bone Crusher. Alright, you off to bed. Sleep good. Okay. Just a little interruption there from a little person. And our other good, this one here is good. So let's just really quickly, we'll just make a set of some of these good ones here. So let's go back and let's put on standard, rare, mythic rare. Okay. And it's going to be this one, or this one, or this one, or this one. And I saw one other good one too. This is actually a pretty solid card too. If you look at the top card of your library, anytime you can play lands directly from the top of your library. It's pretty good. But this big 6 mana ability here at the bottom, where it gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of lands you control, that can be a real devastator. And since we just got a red-blue or red-green deck, we might look at that. So it's going to be one of these. Let's take a look at these real quick. So this is the spells. This is a big creature kind of player. Good for ramp, but allows us to take our green ramp and use red with it. A planeswalker, they're always strong, or usually always strong. Let's see what the abilities are here. You can either create a creature token and attach an equipment to it. Look at the top 6 cards of your library, reveal a warrior or equipment card from among them and put them in your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library. And then -3 deals damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to twice the number of equipment you control. So it would be a lot of equipments and warriors, and that kind of fits with red-white, and we'll see that fits pretty good. This guy would be a rogues, lots of rogues. Return an unblock attacking rogue you control to its owner's hand. So I get my rogue back and I swap this guy in. And then when he does damage to a player, you can put a target permanent from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield. So this one will take a little bit of setup to make it work, but it's mostly a rogues deck. Flying Death Touch Haste. Wow. The spell costs 1 less for each creature in your party. Other creatures you control have Death Touch. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a planeswalker, destroy the planeswalker. Wow, that's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. Alright. So, I guess what I'll do is I'll put out a poll to see which one of these we want to go at first on Twitter, and see if we get any information back, and I think we'll start building a deck around one of these guys on our next session. So I'll look for you guys then. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend.